Alright, so hi guys, I wanted to welcome you, and I wanted to do one of the activities that I had mentioned on the the question, the monthly question. And this is something that I would do every now and again. It's not all the time that I'm feeling stuck or whatever. But if you are, this is a nice way to kind of stop you from feeling that way or get you out of that. Okay, so I haven't used my Neo colours for the longest. They used to be in a tray and I took them out and put them in this jar for ease. And so I would just work with them. So like I'm looking at them now, I've just taken them out and I'm thinking, wow, they look a bit dusty. It's just like they're not in any dust, but they just look like, because they've all been bunched up together and some of the colours have kind of, gone on the paper, wipe them off. So this is one of the things that I would do, and it kind of just reconnects you to your art supplies and just gets you loving on them. I don't know how you treat yours. Obviously yours might be still in their tin, looking all nice and pristine. You might have saved them for best. I've got art supplies that I've done that to. But this is just a quick and easy, I've just taken a wipe and I'm just going over them. The wipe smells nice there. It's bringing back a bit of a, not much, because it's paper after all, but it's getting me to use them again, to hold them again. And they don't have to be like, let me change the whole paper and let me do something other than something small, because sometimes you've only got room within for that small thing. Okay, so this is one of the journals that I said I just get, like, this was just a magazine. I've stuck the pages together. You see how thin they are. Stuck the pages together so that they could have a bit more weight. And there's two signatures that I've joined together. Yeah. So the plan was to gesso all of the pages and have them ready, but I haven't got there yet. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to gesso one of the pages. I don't even have to work on the whole thing. And I recently bought some gesso, and the place that I bought it at was what? What is going on? What is this? I literally just opened it. I haven't used it. I might have to take it back. But anyway. Yeah, this was $10 more than... Just thinking what that smell could be. It's quite humid in here. Anyway, so I'm going to cover this in the gesso. So I found another place where it's $10 cheaper, which is where I'm going to go. Yeah, I might... take it back. See if the guy will... He probably will take it back, actually. So anyway. Dries to a permanent water resistant and flexible matte finish. I've never seen gesso See, and that's the thing with working with your supplies. See, there's like a layer of something. I'm gonna, and it's got like a sweet smell. It's not like, it doesn't smell like, I don't know what mold would smell like, but it doesn't come across as that. But it's a thin layer of something. But what I'm gonna do is, and I'm just trying to think what I used before. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I've taken that first bit off and I'm going to see what happens. And then if anything, I will just take it back. If it comes back, it's obviously something separating in there. But if it does, then I will take it back. So there's another reason to go to the art supply store. And then I'll go to the place that it was $10 cheaper. When I saw it yesterday, I was just like, oh my gosh. I haven't bought gesso for the longest, and when I do, it's like totally overpriced anyway, obviously because it's being imported, because I know I can pick up, when I'm in London, I can pick, you know, that up for like, what, $10? And this is, so this works out to, this pint, it works out to 15, 16, 17 US. Now I know that you can get more than that for 17 US. Anyway. But yeah, I will attempt to, because we're now, anyway, yeah, I will attempt to take it back. I'll just keep an eye on it, because that's not what I expected. Didn't want to bring you along for the the experience, but that's, you know, again, you're feeling stuck, and then you go into your gesso, and then you go to use something that you've literally just brought, and all I did prior was to, what I'm going to do is I've left some, there was just a bit there that looked as if it had, you know, like the residue from your brush. But anyway, I had literally just taken a little bit and put it on the surface, and then I shut it, and it's in an area, it was just under my desk really, but it does get, it's quite humid in here anyway. And then you find that, and then you think, oh my gosh, you know. So we get the colours, that's just something you know, you deal with. I'm not going to let it, oh my gosh, why me? You know, it's just one of those things that happen. So I can take it back and see what he says, get a new one, get my money back, and then go to the other place. Or maybe it's the brand, you know, maybe it's not, it's obviously not, he didn't make it himself. Anyway, so then once our gesso has dried, there's just a light layer of gesso. I'm just getting some paints and using them, thinking about the colours that I used to like. These blues were the sky blue was somewhat one that I really liked, and just add them to the page. It doesn't have to be a lot, it could just be a little. You know, I'm not making anything in particular. I'm just looking at these colours, and sometimes that's all you need to kickstart. And then, because you're just, you know, there's no I don't have to commit to anything. Literally, just adding colours to the page. There's no rhyme or reason. And we'll just enjoy looking at the colours. I've still got to activate them, so that will be another thing. But all I'm going to do now is just go round and add to these. The pages were glossy, so that's why I added the gesso. Or what you could do is add, what I would normally do is say add collage, and then that would take away the, I could still add paint to the surface. But so what I'm going to do is just go through these colours and use as many as I can in different spaces, you know, and not get hung up about these colours blend together or anything. I just want to get the colours down and play. Okay, so play along with me. I hope you've decided what colours, what materials you're going to use. You might already have a journal that's ready, that's like a watercolour journal. That's fine, go with that. But you're going to reconnect. See, I reconnected so much that split. That's fine. We've got a few that have split, that's okay. But reconnect with them. You bought them because you wanted to use them. Why haven't you been using them? So just enjoy, and we're going to fill the page with these colours. Okay, so these broken bits I've probably used them, but yeah, see, I've done the whole page, and now the fun is working on activating the colours. So that's what I'm going to do now, and just go round. I'll start with the lighter colours first, and then go round and do all of the others. Okay, so I've got a second journal here, and this is just when I've got excess paint on my brush, I'm just going to rub it on this page. This is the back. Actually, let me just take one of these pages that have got something on it. Okay, so when I've got excess, I'm just going to rub it on here. And that way you're kind of maximizing the use, because there's more than enough here. So I just need to do lines. There's more than enough here to work in this little section, and so there's a lot of excess. So rather than wash that away in the water, let me put it on another page. Yeah, so it's just utilizing what you have. And this is another way to prep. You can you know, you're working on this kind of unconsciously because it's literally just about excess and putting on here. But then when you come here, you don't have this blank page, you've got the colours already there. essentially this is, that's it. And there's one or two there I didn't do. So you're just activating it, and look at that colour, isn't it? I love it. And then on the scrap piece, look, that's also, you know, a nice starting place that I can work on. But here, what I would do now is, where it's still slightly wet, I'm going to get my scraper and just scrape it to see whether I can get some of the colours blend in. I don't particularly want them to, you know, they don't have to particularly blend, but where it's still slightly wet, I'm just going to smooth it over, and that just kind of evens out. So that's like 2 exercises in one. Looking, you know, looking at your supplies and just seeing what kind of state they're in. You know, if I hadn't have gone into, I haven't needed to use a gesso. This is literally, I bought it last week, and noticing there's a film on it, so I wouldn't have known that to then be able to do something about it sooner rather than later. But yeah, my supplies look nicer because they've been wiped off. The jar that they were in looks nicer because it's had a clean, and that then might prompt me to go to the other jars and do the same thing. But essentially it's just really about doing an activity. If you're feeling stuck, if you're not sure what to do, then yeah, get your supplies, clean them off, make them nice, or like sometimes I would sharpen, like I've got some pastel pencils, and so it's just like, let me just sharpen them, or let me sharpen my watercolours or my ink tints. And that's another thing that I haven't used for a long time. But you see how simple it is to get kind of an effect on the page, and this is quite a nice effect. Now let's take this even further, shall we? Let's see what I would do with it next. And for surfaces like this, I would, and I like setting up the page for myself to come back to. So I'm going to get my waterproof ink. So I already know that my Jelly Roll pens are not going to work on this surface. So all I'm going to do is add some ink to the palette, and I'm just going to use what's there. And I'm thinking of maybe creating a few spots that I can come back and do some journaling in. Now, because this is waterproof black ink, when I've used a Jelly Roll on it, I've had a better result. Writing on the waterproof black ink, I can use my Jelly Roll pen. So I'm just gonna maybe do some lines and shapes on this. Alright, so I'm just gonna do some abstract shapes. Now, I haven't decided that I want to do it for a particular reason. Like I was thinking, right, now, do I want to journal on the page? Do I want to do this? It's again, maybe sometimes it can be just too much. You just need to not even have to worry about that. So just some patterns on the page, some lines. Now, one of the things I do like to do is have a border, so I will do that now. Before I run out of ink. and then I can just enjoy making the marks. Now this is quite a broad brush, so I might decide to go in there with a fine brush. Yeah, maybe a couple more. So we'll have a full circle there. And maybe this one can have but essentially, yeah, just enjoying this kind of playing with the supply. Okay, I'm thinking of maybe having something that does this and connects that. And as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, oh, hold on, I'm going to rub the excess off on here. And then rinse my brush. But I'm going to get my fine brush and just add just a touch of water. And all I want to do is now go round these corners. I want rounded corners. If you've seen some of the other pieces that I've done, so I like rounded corners, so I'm just going to spend some time doing that. Okay, so now I've done that, I'm looking at the lines where the colours ended and thinking, oh, I want to do some lines now. I'm going to do those lines with the black ink. So that's another way in which you can just kind of develop something and get yourself feeling different about it. Like, I'm still not committing to creating anything in particular. I've just really followed the patterns and lines, and now all I'm doing is working on the lines that I can see that's from the colour and see what I get. You know, you can stop wherever you feel or continue. And that's, yeah, some of the beauty of just kind of like allowing yourself to play and seeing where it takes you and what the final result will be. So I'm going to work on this and we'll come back. So we look at it as like an abstract of, you know, paintings of just lines and colour. And so now what I would do is add my favourite, that's one of my favourite activities. So if you can incorporate something you really enjoy doing in that creative activity, and it will then, you know, over time be your go-to. So I'm going to round off all the the corners. So have a look at it now, and then I will do a comparison. And we're going to look at the after. That's the, we've seen the before. Okay, so let us enjoy this moment. Here we go. Is the after. So how did you find that? For whatever you did, it is that meditative kind of activity without judgment, because sometimes we can judge ourselves and the situation, and we can be tougher on ourselves. And so this way it's just really to get you to play with colour, shape, and look what it's developed to. So I could go in and journal on it. I could turn it this way, and for every line I could challenge myself and say I'm going to use these lines and journal on. I can do some more patterns. I can add glitter. Glitter always makes everything seem really different. So I hope that has been useful for you. So again, if we're feeling stuck, what ways can we think about to get ourselves out of that? What activities can we draw on? I can go back, so the next time I think, oh, I don't know what to do, I can go to this page and say, oh, this is the page that I had added to. It's that way. Let me just either add gesso, or I could add a single colour, or I could go in now and say, well, this was a colouring in page, and I can go in and add either from the supplies that I used, and go in and just, you know, act as if, oh, it's still a colouring page. Let me just colour some of these elements. You don't have to do anything big. It could just be, let me just colour some of these elements. Or, you know, you might have something similar. You can access these papers. These were last year's papers, colouring in. For the whole year we had different colouring in pages. Anyway, so that's that. So I'm going to leave it there. This is now waiting for me to do something with, and what I like to do is add a contrasting colour to the black ink, and that's usually my white pen, and go around and just, again, just have fun with the shapes, and just see what else I can do. I could go into some of these shapes and add some more shapes, add some more lines, curve off some more. I can add some encouraging words to this. And if there was an encouraging word that I would write, it would be play. So I'm going to see where could I add this word. Within this, where could I add the word play? So maybe here. And then what I would do is go round just this word. So I'm using up whatever else I've got on the surface of my palette. I want to do a and it's almost hidden within. I would wait until it dries and then go round the words. You won't be able to see it, but you'll see it in the end. We'll just let that dry a bit. So all I'm going to do is go round once again, just have a look, make sure, and this is just for me, that I don't have any sharp edges. And yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry. I'll come back, but in the meantime. Okay, and here is the finished. So you've got all the nice colour, you've got the word play. And every time I come to this, I can remind myself that when you are feeling stuck, you just spend some time in your art supplies and just play. Okay, take care for now.